welcome back to Sales Training with Spence, where we turn novices into experts, experts into closing beasts, and sellers into closers, man. Stop selling, start closing, do it with Spence. Sales Training with Spence, let's go. Standard objections is what we're talking about today. So, these are the most general type of objections that we realize on our calls here. First one we have down is a general sales resistance. This is when the person just has a general aversion to salespeople. They don't like being sold for whatever reason. Maybe they grew up with limited buying beliefs, maybe they've been scammed before, but they don't like being sold, so they'll generally give you at least one objection. Now, these types of people are not bad. These types of people are buyers. You just need to be able to get past their one or two quick objections so that they feel like they are not just being a laydown or being sold for nothing. Generally, people in this category giving these type of objections have money and have real money that they can spend, and that's why they're like this. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't get rich by spending your money, right? So just deal with their couple objections, make them feel as if they aren't just laydowns, and then collect that money, man. A lot of these play into feelings. It's not that they actually. Half these objections aren't even true. They just want to feel a certain way. They want you to make them feel a certain way, whether they know it or not. They just need to feel a certain way, and they will buy. So requests for info is the second standard objection that we see. And this one's actually very good because these people have shown some sort of interest in your company, in your product, in your service, or in what you have to offer. And that's why they're requesting for information. I don't really like to view that as an objection, more so an opportunity. They are just wanting more information. If you can give them the right information, you can provide them with enough, then they will buy. So, requests for info. Just give them the right info, man. Give them enough. And they will buy. It's not that they aren't interested, it's that they feel uncertain. So make sure the info that you are giving them, when you send an email, follow-up call, whatever, will cross out the and now they're just certain. So, the third type is objective objections. Now, often these objective objections, you'll hear them, well, what type of proof do you have? And this is where you need to be ready to back up what you have to offer, back up all the great claims you've been making about your service with real testimonials, real results, real people, real referrals that they can look at, that they can get some proof from, or that they can even call and get a sample of what your services can actually do. So what proof? Well, use testimonials, use referrals, and make sure you pick wisely because at the end of the day, this person, they want to feel certain too. That's why they're asking what proof do you have. It's not that they're saying no. It's that they need some more before they say yes, right? Subjective objections. Now, these usually happen when the person you're talking to, you are probably maybe talking too much about yourself, too much about the company, and they don't like that, and you're not having enough focus on them. They will kind of maybe get angry a bit, defensive, and get kind of like the I just don't like him feeling. And that leaves them with the same thing as all these other ones, is they end up uncertain. So how to avoid that, how to avoid your clients, your prospects getting the I don't like him feeling, is through switching the focus back onto them. Once you start getting this vibe that they're like that, or they're starting to shy away from the conversation, maybe even giving you random objections that were coming out of nowhere, or maybe even starting to come at you a bit, just shift the focus back onto them. Take it off yourself, take it off your company, and make them feel heard. So shift focus back to them. Excuses. Very big objection. Probably hear it a lot. Yeah, I'm not in the market right now. I just don't have the resources. Blah blah blah. There's a million excuses that you could list off. I'm too busy. I don't like the color. So what you need to know about their excuses, about your prospects' excuses, is that they are not excuses. More so, it is a lack of interest. Either they genuinely are not interested in what you have to offer, or you just haven't said anything, showing them enough to make them interested yet, right? It's not that they want to not buy. It's not that they want to just get off the call, but more so it's they're trying to save themselves time and energy and trying to end the call early by being, oh, I'm not in the market, I'm too busy, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to use their time, their energy to talk to you and waste it in their eyes, but you just haven't given them enough to be interested in yet. Still buyers, man, just make them interested. So the show off, lack of interest, the show off, this person's the guy who probably is coming in. So we're doing real estate investing coaching services, that's what we're selling here. And the show off for us would probably be the guy who comes on and he's already doing some real estate investing and I don't need this coaching, man. Like, I have this and this and this properties going on, I have this going on, I already make this much money a year. How could you guys even help me make more than that? He's trying to show off, he's trying to put himself above where you are. But really, whether he knows it or not, what he wants is to be validated, he wants to be heard. You have to hear him. You have to say, yeah, I understand. Someone of your class, someone with your experience, or someone at your level, you must understand that, and then go into whatever pitch, whatever offer you have to use, and that way you're hearing him, he feels validated as yes, you are successful, you are accomplished, and here's how we can help you do more off of the success you already have. He feels validated, he feels heard, he's happy, and you're happy. So the show off, he just needs validation. He wants to be told that he is successful, and that's why he's throwing out all his successes at you. The malicious objections. So this is somebody you may come across who is overly defensive and negative, and most likely have bad experience with salespeople. They probably believe that salespeople are just out to get their money. Oh, you're just going to take my money and run with it, or I'm going to give you my money today and you're never going to talk to me again. So they're probably going to come directly at you as a salesperson because already they do not like salespeople. A malicious person will be defensive, and very defensive almost right away in the call, in the meeting, in person, however you're making the sale. So these people, like I said, have been burned by salespeople in the past. What they need is sympathy. You need to understand where they're coming from. For a second, put yourself in their shoes and feel their pain. I know where you're coming from. I hear what you're saying. If I was in your situation, I would have reacted the same way. But here's why we aren't going to do that, or here's why we are better than that. You know what I mean? And sympathize with them a bit. Understand them. Sit in their pain with them, but then bring them back out of it with your offer. Unspoken objections. Now, these ones will sneak up on you. These ones come out usually when you're already through 95% of your whole sales pitch, 95% of your presentation. The unspoken objection will come out at the end. They didn't say it throughout the whole thing, but then you get through 95% of it and they start coming up with all these objections, right? There is some uncertainty somewhere. They haven't reached those 3 10s with you, your company, and your offer yet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about by that, refer back to an old video I've posted or pick up a copy of this book, The 7-Level Selling. It explains everything you need to know. We'll have all my presentations in writing, or you can go back on my channel a bit. But the unspoken objection, it comes back in probably around 95% when you're through your presentation and these people are uncertain. You need to probably bring them back through or go back through whatever with them so that they're at the 3 10s with you, your company, and your offer. because they are uncertain, just like all these other people. So the time objection. Now, every single buyer, every single company, everybody who you're dealing with has a time restraint no matter what. There is limited time in the world. Every single person has 24 hours a day. There is limited time no matter what. So this is mostly just an excuse. They have a lack of interest. They don't think that what you have to offer is going to be worth their time. If they are probably at the 310s with everything you're doing, if they feel very, very certain with you and your company, they will create time. If they don't, if they're uncertain, they're going to use the time excuse every single time. It's the easiest one. It's legit. Everybody does have limited time. But if you can make them feel certain enough, they will not use the time excuse, and it won't be an excuse. It'll be out of the picture. They will create time for it. Money. So, money, this is a bullshit excuse. Money is never an issue. There is a way that you can get money. They have family, they have friends. You can teach them how to raise capital. They can get credit cards. They can go apply for a line of credit from the bank. There's millions of ways they can get money. But the reason why they'd use this excuse, again, an excuse, is because they don't feel certain enough. They don't feel that what you're offering, what you have, that you're presenting to them is worth their money. Their hard-earned money is not worth what you have to offer. You need to make them feel certain, and they will have no problem coming up with the money for your offer. Fear, again, it's uncertainty. As a salesman, I would highly, highly recommend, if you haven't yet already, that you change your definition of fear in your mind from fear to uncertainty. Really, fear is just an emotion. It's your mind telling you that you are in danger, and that only happens when you are uncertain about a situation or about an outcome. So somebody is scared to buy from you, it's probably because they don't know what's going to happen, or they aren't fully certain on what you have to offer. Even outside of sales, even in regular life, you're walking through the back alley of a sketchy area in a neighborhood, you're probably feeling some fear because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen to you. Something could happen at any minute. You've never been there, it's dark, you've heard people have been killed there, you're uncertain about what's going to happen to you the next minute. You're not scared, you are uncertain. And as a salesman, it's crucial to understand that fear equals uncertainty so that you can solve that for someone, right? Pride, again, just like the show-off, he thinks he's too good for your product. He thinks he's better than you. He thinks he doesn't need it. He's trying to puff his chest like freaking an ape in the jungle or something, right? You need to give him a strong reality check. Like what Grant Cardone says, I hear him do strong reality checks with people all the time. He's like, Damon, what the fuck, man? You're 35 years old. You've been saving for 25 years. You haven't reached your goals. Why haven't you done it yet, right? And that's a strong reality check. Man, listen, you say you don't need it, but you're 32. You've been saving for your whole life, and you're not where you want to be. What do you mean you don't need it? You fucking need it, man. You can't do it on your own, right? That's a strong reality check. Damn, this guy's right. It might make them feel like shit, but their ego is too big in the first place. You gotta bring it down, or else they're not gonna buy, right? Give them a reality check. So, at the end of the day, one thing that is in common with all of these objections, the most general objections, and every single objection that'll ever come up in your sales career from anybody, is that they are just uncertain. Every single objection is the same. People are uncertain, and you have not done a good enough job yet as a salesperson to make them feel certain, and that's why they're still giving you objections or not buying from you. You need to, instead of just memorizing a million different objections, oh, when he says this, I'm going to say this specifically, no. Figure out how you can deliver your speech, your pitch effectively, so that during your pitch, during your speech, you make them feel certain, because then they can't give you objections. If they feel certain, 100% confident in something, how are they going to sit there and do this stuff, right? It's when you don't do that, when you can't deliver it effectively, when you can't provide the certainty, is when the objections start coming up. And rebuttals, at the end of the day, they're made to provide that certainty again. Again, you just loop them and loop them and loop them, trying to provide that certainty. Right, so that's standard objections. That's understanding where the objections come from and how to handle every single objection that'll ever come up in your life, man. Sales training with Spence, the 7-level selling. If you haven't picked it up yet, you gotta pick this up.